Even if toxic people came with a warning tattooed on their skin, they might be hard to avoid. We can always choose who we let in, but it's not always so easy to remove toxins from other parts of our lives. It could be colleagues, bosses, in-laws, step-parents, family, co-parents, and the list goes on. We live our lives in groups, and unless we're willing to go it alone, work alone, live alone, be alone, which is sometimes tempting, but comes at a cost, we'll meet those we want to. You better cross it out. In any discussion about toxic people, it's important to understand that you can't change anyone, so it's best to stop trying. Save your energy for something simpler, like world peace, or landing on a star. The thing is, if you do something differently, things can't change for you. If they are not people on your radar, it will be their impact on you. Living with toxics means bypassing them to make your own rules, and then accepting that you don't need them to respect those rules in order to claim your power. Here are some powerful and practical ways to do that. Number 1. Be empowered by your motives. Sometimes toxic people trap you like a mad thing. You know you don't have to give in to them, but you also know there will be consequences if you don't. The secret is to make decisions from a position of power rather than feeling controlled. Just as there is something they want from you, there will always be something you want from them, even if it's to avoid their toxicity. Decide that you are doing what you are doing to control them and their behavior, not because you are a victim of their manipulation. Personal power is everything to do with what you believe and nothing to do with what they think. Number 2. Understand why they're seeing what they see in you. Toxic people will always see in others what they don't want to admit about themselves. It's called projection. You could be the kindest, most generous, hardest working person on the planet, and toxic people will turn inside out trying to convince you that you are a liar, unfair, nasty, or lazy. Look what it is. You know the truth, even if he never knows. Number 3. They might get worse before they leave you alone. Think of it this way. Take a little person who throws a tantrum. When you stand firm and don't give up, they will be tougher for a while. We all have this tendency. When something we're doing stops working, we do it more before we stop. Toxic people are no different. If they have found a way to control and manipulate you and it stops working, they will do more of what worked before backing off and finding another target. Don't take their escalation as a stop sign. Take this as a sign that what you are doing is teaching them that their old behavior will no longer work. Go ahead and give them time to convince themselves that you won't make the decision you made and close them. Number 4. Be clear about your boundaries. You can't please everyone, but the toxic people in you will believe that you can't please anyone. So you'll try harder, work harder, compromise. It is exhausting. Toxic people will have your boundary torn down and buried before you even know you have one. By knowing exactly what you will and won't tolerate, and why, you can decide how far you're willing to let someone encroach on your boundaries before it's no longer worth it. Be ready to listen to the voice inside you that will let you know when something is not right. It's powerful and rarely, if ever, bad. It doesn't matter if anyone else thinks it's right or wrong. What matters is whether it is right or wrong for you. Let that guide your reaction, and when you can, who is in and who is out. Number 5. You don't have to help them through every crisis. The reason why toxic people often end up in a crisis is because they are masters at creating it. That's what they do. Take a breather and create drama. At any sign of crisis, you will be asked for compassion, attention, and support, but you do not have to run to their side. Teach them that you will not be part of the pity party by being indifferent, oblivious to the crisis. Don't ask or offer to help. It might feel bad because it's not your normal way, but remember you're not dealing with a normal person. Number 6. You don't need to explain. No is a complete sentence and one of the most powerful words in any language. You don't need to explain, justify, or make excuses. No is the guardian at your front gate that makes sure the contamination from toxic people doesn't get through to you. Number 7. Own your strengths and your weaknesses. We are all messy, beautiful, and brilliant at work. Once you realize your flaws, no one can use them against you. Toxic people will try hard to play on your flaws and play down your strengths. That's how they gain their power. If you can own your strengths and weaknesses, what they think won't matter, because you'll know that your strengths are more than enough to make your flaws not matter, or at least make them become yesterday's news. Number 8. Don't judge. Be understanding, compassionate, kind, and respectful. But most of all, be yourself. You can reject behaviors, requests, and people without turning into someone you don't want to be with. Strength and compassion can coexist beautifully at the edge of your boundaries. It's always easier to feel good about setting a boundary if you haven't hurt someone else in the process. The world is full of people whose behavior is incredibly harmful. That doesn't mean we have to open ourselves up to harm. The secret to a good life is to live mindfully. Knowing the signs of toxic behavior and responding consciously and clearly to toxic people will lessen their impact and allow you to maintain the wholeness and strength you always deserve. And there you have it, folks. If you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others. Until next time, stay aware, stay empowered, and take care of yourselves.